Hi, my name is Morgana and I am a psychology major here at Santa Fe College. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about quilts. I'm going to cover some supplies you would need, some basic steps, and why you should make your own quilt today. First, let's gather our supplies. We're going to need fabric for our top layer, fabric for our bottom layer or our backing, some batting, the fluffy stuff in between, thread, scissors, rotary cutter, mat, pins, quilt pins, an iron, and a washable marker. Before you start cutting your fabric, make sure that it's washed and dried and ironed. You don't want it to shrink after you've worked really hard on it. Now that everything is ready, go ahead and cut your pattern out. Sew it all together, and when you're done with that, you'll have your top layer. So now you're going to make your quilt sandwich, which consists of 3 layers: the backing, the batting, and the top layer. So find a clear spot and lay out your fabric and make your quilt sandwich. Make sure you pin it with your quilt pins that look like this. They look kind of like safety pins, but they're not. They're bent, so you can catch all of your layers evenly. Once it's all pinned, then you can start sewing. Go ahead and start in the middle edge of your quilt and work your way all the way through the entire quilt. Professor Pincushion has a great video on YouTube that will show you all of the tools and things that she used to make her black quilt. Once you're done quilting, now you can start your bias tape or your edging to finish off your quilt. Bias tape is like this. It has 2 flaps here, one for the front and one for the back of your quilt. As you can see in this quilt behind me, it just finishes off the edge. Made by Marzipan has a wonderful video on YouTube about how to do the bias tape really easy, and the mitered corners, and the invisible join. So now that you are done with your quilt, go ahead and take a step back and look at it. It's nice, right? Now let's get to the why. Quilting is a great hobby and is also used in psychotherapy and art therapy. Martina Schnetz wrote a book about the many ways hands-on activities and creativity can be used with psychotherapy to help people heal. She says that the symbolic realm of the image-making process can provide avenues through which we can get in touch with the greater whole and restore internal and external balance. Bruce St. Thomas and Paul Johnson wrote a similar book to Martina Schnetz, except they did art therapy with children in Cambodia, Ethiopia, Germany, and other places where children have suffered greatly. By using art therapy on the children, they were able to open up about their fears, griefs, and other mental problems that they were having. Besides being a hobby and therapeutic, quilting is also great to be used for donations. For example, you could make a quilt for the St. Jude's Cancer Society and donate it to them, like I did. Jackie White says that the world's largest quilt is an AIDS memorial quilt, and it weighs in at 54 tons. That's huge. Besides being used for donation, you could also start a tradition in your own family, such as what I did. I began making my first quilt 3 years ago, which is the one behind me. I made this quilt for my son's first Christmas, and it is made up of 548 2.5-inch triangles. So I hope you liked my video, and I hope I gave you some good tips on how to make a quilt and why you should make a quilt. Thanks for watching.